Let me introduce Mr. Ruben to you. Andrew began as Wal-Mart's Director of Corporate Strategy, was promoted to Vice President of Sustainability and Strategy, and then in 2007 became the Vice President of Private Brand Strategy. During his tenure, Wal-Mart, which serves more than 176 million customers weekly, has emerged as a key player in the field of business sustainability. For example, last month, Wal-Mart launched Earth Month, a comprehensive campaign to encourage consumers of all economic levels to learn about and purchase more eco-friendly products. In a recent sustainability talk, the head of sustainability for Coca-Cola, a major supplier to Wal-Mart, stated that Wal-Mart's goals for sustainability are akin to Kennedy's vision for putting a man on the moon. They're big, bold, inspiring, and exciting. And he's a key part of this man on the moon approach to sustainability. As his company undertakes this goal, which I think is more than a goal, was actually a changed worldview, Andy himself embodies entirely the concept that we strongly believe in, that and is here to stay. I surely think that's no mere coincidence that we had Andrew here. It's my privilege to turn the proceedings over to Mr. Andrew Ruben and to hear more about how he and Wal-Mart are really making a difference. Thank you. Andrew.
I had never thought about my name in that way. I will now. Let me first say congratulations to be sitting here. And I know some of you are probably thinking, yeah, perfect, graduation at a time just as the economy takes a nosedive. So let me give you the good news. This is a time to graduate where you can have more positive influence in the world than just about anything else you'll be able to do in your lives. I'm convinced of it. Let me tell you a bit more. You're graduating at a time when the changing connected society is creating unprecedented demand for natural resources and possibilities that have never been realized and will yet to be realized. And the point is, you're graduating in business, a field that puts you squarely on the court. The ball will come to you in the coming years. And depending on what you do with that, the world will take a different direction. The global society that I'm talking about took 12,000 years to reach the first 3 billion people. We've doubled that to 6 billion in the past 40, and we're expected to reach 9 billion people by the end of the century. It's not just the numbers, we are far wealthier than at any other point in our history. More people have been pulled out of extreme poverty in the past 50 years than at any other point. The next 20 years will see 500 billion people enter the middle class in China alone. The amazing time of opportunity, hope, and new involvement is also putting incredible demand on resources. The world you're graduating into, simply put, cannot be sustained, at least not with today's technologies and today's ideals. The unprecedented demand, the demand for more meat from this rising middle class, which requires more grain, more water, more energy, more cars made from more steel, ultimately more gas. We're witness to the very real consequences. We see them every day in the headlines. Prices for basic commodities spiraling out of control. People are taking to the streets of Jakarta to protest soybean prices. There are riots in Mexico over tortilla and pasta in Milan. But even with these seeming overwhelming challenges, the possibilities have never been greater. There are exponential gains in technology that you're witnessing and you're a part of. We have the technology today to deliver every issue of the Wall Street Journal ever made in less than a second through a fiber the size of the human hair. Every year, some of the most respected thinkers in the world gather in Monterey, California. The event includes dozens of well-known speakers, names you would easily recognize. And this year, one absolutely unknown PhD student from Carnegie Mellon, Johnny Lee. Johnny walked up on stage in his baggy jeans and explains to a packed auditorium how to transform a $39 Wii remote with his free software into an interactive whiteboard. You would have seen systems like this at universities such as Case Western. They cost tens of thousands of dollars, squarely putting them out of the reach of most of society. That is until Johnny and his $39 Wii remote. His video has been viewed millions of times on YouTube, which is where, by the way, the conference organizers discovered it. The innovation's brilliant, but that's not what is so interesting about what happened. Unlike any other time in history, this innovation is available to the world. There are many Johnnies out there. In fact, I'm going to hazard a guess, there's several Johnnies in here right now. The question for you as you enter the business community is, how will you bring this human creativity to scale? As you think about yourself in the very real world being in business, the fact that you are on the court and you are going to get the ball and get to take the shot, this is the shot that I'm referring to. As a business leader, you're in a unique position to capitalize on the potential, the newfound potential that's in front of us. Of the world's 100 largest economies, 63 are now corporations. Wal-Mart ranks 24th on the list, with annual sales just ahead of Austria's GDP. 500 corporations account for 2/3 of the global trade. Businesses like this, like ours, are increasingly held accountable for their actions and their inactions. But this is what's really important to understand. That public pressure is not the risk that the companies you enter will face. The risk that the companies you enter will face comes from their competitors taking advantage of this new reality. It's a competitive reality. Take the simple way that we sell car seats, infant car seats. Typically, we sold these infant car seats in boxes, and we still sell many in boxes. Recently, a car seat supplier started shipping these car seats in reusable bags. And the point is, you can now nest the car seats together. That simple change of nesting the car seats together in bags eliminates the need for 400 semi-trucks every year to move these car seats to our stores. The car seat industry just got more competitive. Sorry if anybody here owns stock in one of those companies still shipping their car seats in cardboard boxes. We've been testing a new technology at our registers that allows us to print the receipt on both sides of the paper. Not only does it save 40% of the paper, the big savings for us is that you're less likely to wait in line as the cashier has to change out that roll of paper. The speed of a line is a critical element for retailers. Before sustainability, we had not seen the opportunity to use both sides of the paper as a way to get customers through our lines faster. If you're not thinking this way, at some point in the businesses that you enter, you will owe your shareholders an explanation. You can buy hundreds of generic medications at Wal-Mart for $4. No copay, no paperwork, no third-party insurance, just $4. It's not only transforming the prescription drug landscape. You see it rippling throughout the US in terms of other drug chains. Somebody recently asked me if it bothered me as I walk into a competitor of ours and see the same program advertised. Actually, it doesn't bother me at all. In fact, I see it as an affirmation that the prescription drug plan that we're offering is a business strategy. That's exactly what allowed us to build on that program and take it to a new level this past month. It's what sustainability is doing for Wal-Mart. There are not only straightforward competitive gains in these moves, there are also larger social gains. I've seen hundreds of these innovations over the past 3 years. Some are fairly direct, like the car seat box. Some are much more complex, such as the way we grow cotton or the way we buy seafood. But as you enter the business world, it's important that you realize these are core business strategies. They shouldn't be relegated. To get the advantage, they should not be relegated to marketing, PR, or government relations. These are business strategies. You will need the broader perspective if you're going to see the shot when the ball comes to you. A business leader in today's world, you will face incredible public pressure. What I've seen, I think, is true, is as you're under that pressure, it's going to be very easy to become defensive. The real problem with becoming defensive is it closes your eyes to the and the real possibilities that exist in front of you. Flat out, Wal-Mart is one of the largest private users of electricity in the US. We have one of the largest trucking fleets. The way that we buy product will dictate how products are produced, where they come from, how they're made. When our seafood buyer started learning more about the health of our oceans, his first reaction was utter panic, given the amount of seafood that Wal-Mart sells. He spent the next 9 months working with nonprofit agencies, government agencies, and non-government organizations to create a strategy for better seafood. We're 2 years into a strategy to take all wild-caught seafood and only sell certified wild-caught seafood. Our customers are starting to respond. Our building engineers have invited critics and advocates alike to look and to scrutinize the design of our buildings. The conversations are often uncomfortable, but they've led to hundreds of experimental technologies, everything from radiant floor heating to new solar technologies on our roofs. In fact, we believe we can beat one of the best industry performances in terms of store efficiency by 30% chain-wide. So our customers, our shareholders, our building team owes a big thank you to all those advocates and critics alike who've helped us see this opportunity. Seeing the shot is not all you're going to need. It's also going to take you the courage. You're going to have the leadership courage once you see it to go with your gut and take the shot. There's a moment of truth I've seen a dozen times in the past few years. You've reached out, you've gotten broad perspective, you've seen different ways of doing things, you've seen the and still there's no definitive answer. People will not agree on the right direction. Those are the moments that it comes down to gut. I'll never forget sitting with our CEO, Lee Scott, 3 years ago, right before he delivered a speech called Leadership in the 21st Century. The speech had at that time some very audacious goals, including 100% renewable energy, zero waste, a push for the US government to increase minimum wage. Let me tell you, that was a bit controversial inside Wal-Mart. Right before Lee gave that speech, he asked if we really think this will work. I remember trying to answer very quickly and respond with a definitive yes, but for just a moment I had the taste of the uncertainty involved at that type of leadership. In reality, there isn't a person on this planet who could have definitively answered that question yes. Who could have predicted how 2 million Walmart associates would react? Would they view this as a call to action? Or would they view our CEO as disconnected? Or worse yet, how would customers respond? How would our board respond? What would the press write about? It took courageous leadership for our light bulb buyer 2 years ago to displace 30% of our incandescent bulbs with compact fluorescent light bulbs. At the time, they only made up 5% of our sales. Anyone who believes that was an easy decision wasn't there. Everybody around told our light bulb buyer, Diane, that her sales were about to plummet. This would be the worst business move that she could potentially make. Her courage was rewarded. In the last 18 months, she has sold 145 million compact fluorescent bulbs, single-handedly transforming the US market share. Those bulbs that our customers have purchased are going to save $4 billion for those customers who have bought them in their electrical bills. $4 billion. The greenhouse gas savings alone from those bulbs is greater than the entire Walmart global footprint. Every decision is not going to take this kind of courage. Some are going to be more straightforward. But it's my hope for you as you enter your career at this point in time that you actually look for those difficult decisions. Just as the light bulb buyer, Diane, decided that she was going to transform the lighting category, eliminating the need for 2 coal-fired power plants in somebody's community. So again, as business leaders, you are on the world court in the 21st century. It's a unique time. The ball will come to you. It'll be in your hands, and it's going to be up to you to decide if you're going to have the perspective to see the shot and the courage to take that shot. This is why right now, right this minute as you're graduating, is actually the perfect time to be graduating in business, regardless of your specific position. Let me leave you with one final example. Spina bifida is a crippling birth defect that can be prevented with a very small dose of folic acid. The problem is systemic, dealing with prenatal care rates, specifically broad-based education. It's a condition that over-indexes with the Hispanic population. The National Council of La Raza, a leading Hispanic rights group, approached the Walmart tortilla buyer about adding a small bit of folic acid to the tortilla flour. That move happened about 1.5 years ago. In my eyes, that tortilla buyer is a hero. He has changed millions of lives, both parents and children, in a seemingly unthinkable place as he sat at a similar ceremony like this and graduated in business. The impact you can have in the 21st century is unparalleled. So my push for you as you graduate today is to be the tortilla buyer. Be the panicked person in seafood who has the courage to reach out and the courage to take action based on what you will learn. Choose to be faced with the tough calls. Go with your gut, change the lighting aisle. You're the first generation that's graduating into business that is not going to have to make that or choice of either promoting your own career or the business that you work for and creating large social benefit in the world. So this is your time. It'll be up to you. My push is that you go and you go create not just any business, but far more competitive businesses. The world depends on it. Thank you.